Apparently, I'm live. I'm surprised I got on. Uh, I just checked my notebook and it said I'm supposed to be streaming tonight. I didn't realize that. It's a screw up from last night. Uh, Everything looked just like this last night. Got to fix the mic. I just plugged it in my. I don't know if it's picking it up. I got my thing here. My energy cake right now. I wish I could tell if my mic was working. I did. Last couple of videos have been horrible. The last one, again, was last night. And I screwed around, finally got on like this. And testing 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I hope you can. I hate to have another no-show night. Well, last night, absolutely would have won awards. It was so good. This was the best. This was my one video. Would have been world famous for the rest of my life because of this. It was so good. And apparently it didn't get recorded. I hope it doesn't show up now after I said all that. But it was, I was talking about my bankruptcy, and not so much the bankruptcy, but what's the world coming to? You know, a guy can't get a break anymore. They truly make me feel like I'm some kind of criminal, and I didn't do anything. I rented my house, and it was returned in a disaster. I could have been. I'm gonna see if I can hear. So if I can lose track of where I am, that's why. But they were good tenants for years and years, and life got in the way. They had to move. I don't hold them any grudge, any ill will. They did what they had to do. They didn't have to leave the house the way they did, but I don't think they intended to. I really think they thought they were going to get money back because they left it so good. I'm not liking what I see right now. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, man. Scenes. What am I tonight? Right now, let's see. In there. Let me see. In there. Let me see. Okay. Mike's going. What a good-looking guy. Okay, let me get out of here. Anyhow, yesterday, now that I know this actually shooting and stuff, I'll dim it down a little bit. Oh, I'm so sore. Yesterday, my banker, this CEO of the bank who got that position after after I had the loan, and he'd helped me out. I mean, he went to bat for me a couple of years ago, and rewrote the loan and kept it in house. Because when I first initially took this loan out, is when I bought this place up here up on the Buffalo Lake. I have 10 acres of swampland on a lake. I always wanted a lake credit, so I saw this, and the price was way right. I thought, came up here, jumped right in it, and found out why the price was what it was. I love it. I had a tragedy here. I had a house fire, total house fire, killed all my exotic birds and stuff. Anyhow, that's where the initial loan came from. And when it renewed, he wasn't real thrilled about renewing it because I had it rented. And apparently they don't do the small rental business loans. So it wasn't something their bank wanted, but he did it. He kept it for, well, yeah, because my credit was just shot back then. And he rolled it over for 3 or 4 years. It was supposed to be like he'd roll it over again, which the initial was 5 years. And by the time some lady was handling it, might have been the one that just was dealing with on some sales here and stuff, and really screwed things up for me. But anyhow, it turned out to be 3.5 or 4 years. It was short, real short. I was going to start to say something, and I just backed off. The guy really did me a solid there. So I worked extremely hard on my credit, and I went for that loan was coming due. It come due either this summer or next summer. I mean, it was pretty quick, and I almost got my score up to 700 on your credit score. I've never had really a credit. My credit score was so low, I never had one. But I grew up and learned a simple concept that just blew me away. When you get paid, you pay your bills off first, and then you go out and spend and get the stuff you want after you get your needs met. And I lived on the philosophy: pay yourself first. If there's anything less, take care of the other people. I thought that's pretty good. Oh Lord! So anyhow, my credit card really, I just rocketed, and I felt really good about it. Yeah, it took. I mean, it's not. I'm gonna say it's not easy. It's easy. You just pay your bills, and back off on your wants. And but I paid my bills and still got most of my wants, but they're minor anymore. I've got pretty much everything I want right now, because I don't want much. I don't need much. I'm just really good. Being disabled, there wasn't a lot to do. I spent a lot of miserable years just being disabled, moping around. I guess it wasn't so. I was just okay, and I wasn't happy, and I wasn't sad, and I was just there collecting my meager check and just having a meager life. And every now and then I do something exciting. I imported corals, live corals from where did they get them from? Far East, Indonesia. and I imported saltwater fish and all this kind of cool stuff. And then I got into, I started rescuing birds, and that's where I got all these like cockatoos and Amazons, and they were as much my kids as my dogs on and stuff. Sammy was my first big bird. He's a cockatoo. I loved him to death. He would couldn't cage him, couldn't keep him in cage. He'd get out of the cage every time, and I'd wake up in the morning. He'd be in bed with me. He'd climb. He was a young bird when I got him. He was only 2 or 3, but by then they're pretty much done learning. Plus, they like learning to talk, and they like to. They do better mimicking women. So we had a very limited vocabulary. The bird loved me. Just never wanted to leave me. It was something else. Used to be able to drive around. I had a old Jeep with no top on it. So the whole thing was open with the windshield. He used to ride around with me, right on my shoulder. Oh God, he was something else. He died before I was here, along with all the other birds. Where am I going with all this? So I bought the place, moved up here, got my credit out. My credit score slammed away, already to refinance, so I wouldn't have to bother this banker because he did me a favor, and I was prepared for it. Just about this time last year, I get a call from my tenant, and I'll back up a little bit. Last winter, not this the winter we're just ending, but a year ago, in 3 months, something like that. Say October, November. I talked to the tenants. Actually, they asked me if I was going to let them sign another 3-year lease. They'd like to do 3 and 4 year leases. They like to be locked in. And they definitely wanted to stay in the house. They loved the house. They wanted to stay there until the kids graduated from high school. And the mom was a school teacher, and the dad was worked in a hotel industry. At night, he went to school, and he got his. I believe he must have been a teacher before, or did something. I think he got his master's degree, and then couldn't find work in the southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois school districts. So, but it'd be hard to if you don't have the long-term experience to back up the masters. It's hard to go out and get a job where they're going to pay you master's pay. And you ran into that, and then nobody wants to hire you at a lower rate because you'll keep looking until you get the master pay. So it was a mess for him. I didn't know it, but he finally got a job out west, and I had to go repair something down at the house. The in-laws were there, one of the sets of in-laws, and I was fixing whatever it was, and all of a sudden it comes up that this guy's out west teaching, and him and his wife are looking at homes. I said, "Excuse me? Oh, maybe we were supposed to say." It just kind of let it go and all blew off. So something was up. I knew the husband wasn't around, and I was wondering if they were having problems. Now it's starting to make sense. So within a couple of days, I got to eat, but I have to do it. So I hope it doesn't sound too gross. But after a couple of days, I get a call back, and I won't do this. It's too sweet and gum up in my store bought. So it dwindled back to him that his parents were her parents. One of them kind of spilled the beans, so he said, "Well, Matt, don't worry about it. Really, I still got resumes out in the Midwest, and we really don't want to leave, and I'm sure I'll get a job there. Just don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about a thing." A couple of weeks later, I got the next call was move out date. They were moving out June 28th, and he gave me plenty of notice. And I, first got upset and didn't say anything to him, but I wasn't very nice to him. I mean, it was just short, and it took me a little bit to process it. How can you get mad at somebody trying to take care of his family the best they can? Had he been able to get work here, they would have been still here today. So anyhow, yeah, right before he left, he says, how do we handle this? I'd like to get our security deposit back right away, so we have it on the trip. I said, well, I got to come down and go through it. And I prefer to do that. I mean, you know how you left, and I prefer to do it alone after you leave. And then we'll discuss it. And I said, I got to tell you, I really anticipate giving your full check back, because every time I've been there to do repairs, or if they needed something, the house was immaculate. But thinking back on it, it was always immaculate in the areas I was at that time. When they left, and I was going to go down the next day, and I didn't feel well, and it was a day or two, a couple of days, and I was in a hurry. He told me, oh yeah, I came home a month early, got back here a month early, and we've been working and did all this, and yeah, it's in great shape. I said, so when I went down, I had called him and I said, I'm on my way down now to see it. Is there anything I should prepare myself for? And he said, well, we had more garbage than I thought. And this is after, remember, been doing it for a month. And he said, they were a little overflowing, but we talked to the garbage guy, which I don't know how he did. And it's all cool. He'll take care of it. And it's all arranged. Well, when I pulled in the driveway, it looked like a tornado went through the trailer park. And he said, and then the boys were boys, and you'll see the knife holes. They were throwing knives in the kitchen. And I almost thought, I mean, the way he just blew it out there, like every day, kids throw knives. I got down there, saw the garbage, got in the house, walked through the house, and I sat down and cried. This is my home, and when I rented it to him, all the appliances were brand new. Everything was just totally from top to bottom redone. The holes in the wall. I mean, punched, kicked in the wall. The boys' back bedroom, it had been repainted, and it wasn't until actually this winter when I went down to do some more work on it that the light was just right. They'd gone in there. They had to be in spray cans and did graffiti all over the walls, and then they tried to paint it over with one coat. Well, in the right light, you saw the shine through. So I had to paint that every time I go down there. And I mean, I've been through the house, like every time I go through the house, and every time I do, I find something more holes, or doors broke. There's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of damage. And I don't have thousands of dollars, and I hit the credit cards and did the advances. I live on disability income, SSDI, and then the rent I got from the renting my house out. It helps pay. It helps me stay here comfortably, and I mean, not living in luxury here. I'm comfortable. Um, I generally know what kind of meat's in my hot dogs, and that's important to me. Like I haven't known what kind of meat's been in my hot dogs or bologna for almost a year now. That worries me. It worries me tremendously. So I don't know where I was going. Oh, so I ran out of money. I spent all the money, got that place. First, I got it as soon as we could. You could show it, so it wasn't sitting vacant, waiting for me to work on it because I can only work. I'm disabled. Okay. I can work sometimes, and when I work, I can work a chunk, and it could take me out for a week, could take me out a month before I can move again. And so I mean, we got it. So it was showable. It was clean, and um, every so often I go down there and do paint another room, and freshen it up, do something, and and ran out of money. And then I'm trying to save pennies and can't. Once I ran out of all the money and did all the loans, Social Security doesn't pay. Once you pay the telephone bill, get some groceries, pay my uh, whatever I had to pay. No, oh, initially I was able to pay like 2 out of 3 creditors, but all my the charge cards were getting behind, and then the mortgage was getting behind, and you know it was initially the old squeaky wheel thing, and then I got some really bad advice and cut one group off. Um, the credit cards are a group, a portion of them, and got way behind there, and then I mean it got to the point where there's nothing I did. I got a um, all those companies that help you pay off your taxes. They come across like they're going to lend you whatever all my credit cards were at a good rate, like a 4% rate, and you're going to save all this money. And great, under that scenario, I, I had to pay like $260 a month, whatever it was. And keep in mind, I'm thinking the house is going to. Oh, by this time, it's almost I can't rent it because I'm so deep into everybody. The rental wouldn't get me out, so it's for sale. I'm thinking it's going to sell any day. It's a nice house. It's a handsome house. It wasn't beautiful. It's just a strong, square, plain house. And after 6 months, when it first listed, it was a realtor, and she's the one that got me the tenants. She came down and helped me. We got it all cleaned up. She brought her crew in, and then brought a crew in and did the yard work. And, which I said not to because that's what I can do and I enjoy doing it. If you're going to bring a crew in, get them in there and paint. Get it look well, exactly opposite, but neither here nor there. We got it, so it was showable. So it was showable, rentable from day a month into it, and then and I've got my greenhouse up here, and I was going to bring down all these plants and make it real cute and make it look nice. No, no, don't. Who's going to water them? Who's going to take care of them? I wasn't thinking. I've been in the relaxed mode for a couple of years now. Best couple of years in my life, I got to tell you, and it's killing me. these last few weeks, the mood I'm in. And anyhow, so go all these months, and it's coming into winter. And she goes, Matt, I got to tell you, your house has no curb appeal. You wait till November to tell me it has no curb appeal? What am I supposed to do about that now in November? So I wound up in a snowstorm in January putting on window boxes and shutters and um, these magnet things you put on your garage door so it looks like it has windows. And it took it from plain and kind of made it. Um, you can't make an ugly duckling beautiful, except in on that book. But it made it. It improved it. I mean, it made it look nice. And so anyhow, it's still we no walkers, nothing, no movement on it, and the banks are calling. The trucks behind the credit unions calling to pick me up. um, and then we got an offer. A couple came in. It was, I think it might have been the last time I went down there. Um, oh, the realtor didn't like the color of the bathroom. She from day one, and it was kind of a dark, kind of maroon color, and um, dark. And I mean, I painted this color. Everything matched, but it was dark, dark. And I guess after all the usage it had, it was getting dank. I don't know, but so I went down and spent 4 days, 5 days nonstop. I went down to do an overnight, and what I would do because I live 200 miles away, and if I once you get me off my property, I got to do what I've got to do because I'm not coming off again for a long time. I hate leaving. I hate going to the Walmart grocery shop. I don't like going to the post office next door. I don't like leaving my property. So I went down there and just started fixing and painting. And that's when I found the graffiti. And I had another bedroom to finish. And then I decided to do this bathroom. And my overnight, my 24 to 48 hours, turned into 4 or 5 days. And this is not no sleep. And I found out what true sleep deprivation is. Um, I started falling asleep wherever I was. I was standing up in the bathroom painting on a cabinet with the window right there, and it was kind of open. And I caught myself falling towards the window, sound asleep. Standing up painting, I fell sound asleep. Um, every time I'd go to the bathroom, I would fall asleep. I woke up, didn't know where I was, walked out into the house, and I'm upstairs in this upstairs bathroom, which is, if it was my house, it was red. Now I'm in this white bathroom. All this work's being done. I walk out, and this house has an upper, where the bed, 3 bedrooms upstairs, with a laundry and a full bathroom and big family room. And I'm walking out there, and it doesn't. Oh, something's not right here. And I haven't lived in that house. When I lived there, it was before I had it all remodeled. So I mean, nothing looked familiar. I go down the steps, down to the first floor, into the kitchen, and here's all my stuff on this counter. I'm panicking. I'm looking outside. I don't know where I am. Honest to God. And I have never been so scared. And I kind of look over this way, and I see into the garage, and they got my truck. And then things started balancing out. And I was so scared. I thought I was abducted. My new store boughts, I still don't talk very good with. I thought I was kidnapped. Oh Lord, it just scared me. But Oh God, I got a ton of work done. Really, when I left, oh, I to get to the point there. The last day I was there, when I was cleaning up, and one of my nephews came over, and we were talking, and his car kept slowing down as they drive by, and they back up, drive back up. They're looking at the real estate sign. Opened the door and said, "You want to see the house? Come on in. It's open. It's not a problem." So this nice couple came through, and um, I told them, "You're interested? Get a hold of the broker out there, or the agent. She'll treat you right. She's a really nice lady." And within a couple of days, we got an offer. I don't know if it was them or not, but they dropped it. They offered about the bottom I was willing to go. Period. And then they did an inspection, and then time went out, and da da da, dropped it another 10,000. Um, Now the bank, this big loan lady, gets involved, and I'm getting bullied and pressured. I get it. We got the first offer, and then I get an amendment to it, and then they wanted me to pay $500 for appliance insurance or something. Something one of the agents said, "Here, put that in offer. I'll sell it to you and make commission on it." And, um, it got to the point where I felt there was nobody working for me, because I'd look at these addendum, and I said, "No, no, this won't go. This won't counter at this. No counter. Another addendum. Nothing I wanted was on it." And finally, 2 days before closing, these people bailed, and they don't have a release. I mean, the only thing on the uh, contingencies was a minor hiccup, something they had to complete to qualify for the financing. But for all intents and purposes, it was done. And what they had to do was not enough to not get the loan. So, it sucks to be them, but there goes their earnest money. That's mine. Well, they're fighting over it. And, I got my banks. Well, my bank, um, was what the intro here is. They're filing foreclosure, and what the kicker is, whatever money I get from the earnest money, the loan officer said, if we get the earnest money, oh, you got to back up. So that offer was done, and within a day or two, I come in with an insulting offer. I mean, it's $50,000 less than he's asking, and uh, the bank lady says, "I don't know what it is, but I think you ought to, how do you put it? Take the offer and run 50,000. It's not that bad. Just start over." And I've never I haven't talked to the agent about it. I just know that there's some other offer. Okay, yeah, right. And she said, if I accept that offer and give them the earnest money, they won't foreclose. They hold off on foreclosing. So I told my agent, I said, "I'm going to accept the offer. I just got it. I can't do this anymore. I'm shot, and I don't sleep. I haven't slept in days. I don't look good." And so I told my agent, called her. I said, "I'll accept the offer. If they still want the house, I'll still want to make that offer. I'll accept it." And I called the banker, or the loan officer, and said, "You get whatever earnest money comes through, it's yours." accepted the offer. Yeah, and this is all under the contingency, under your promise that you're not going to foreclose on me. Oh yeah, don't worry, man. Oh yeah, everything's great. I'm just so happy. Within 10 minutes, I get an email. Oh, and I don't very seldom. I don't talk to anybody on the phone. All this is all in on emails in writing here, and there's some that got backed. What is it? CC copy, whatever, and it was part of my great banker's loan officer's conversation with the realtor. Comes back to me on these CCs. So I've got they're being looked at now. It wasn't 10 minutes after she hung up. I told her I'd accept the offer. That some guy, under the pretense of her email, um, emails me and says, "I'm so and so. If you don't have godzillion dollars that you're back, that you're behind by Friday," and this is like Wednesday or Thursday, um, at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., we're filing papers on you. Who are you? You know, who am I supposed to listen to? The lady that's supposed to be my officer or loan officer, taking care of all this and making the biggest mess in my life, just guaranteed me they're not going to foreclose because I did these things, and now they're foreclosing. So I wrote a letter, email to the guy I knew that was just used to be a stand-up guy, and explained to him. I said, I don't know, senior CEO now, do you keep track of little loans like mine? But I don't know if you've been aware of what's going on, but this is what's happening. And, you know, all I need is time. We, I said, I'm bringing new blood in. I've got a new broker coming in, a new real estate agency firm coming in. They're all excited. It's good. New eyes, new blood, new excitement. My old agent didn't do it. She didn't do anything wrong. We're just tired. I could see it. There was no enthusiasm for me or my house, and it was a rough year. Especially the last couple of months. And it was hard. It was hard letting her go. But I hired my nephew's wife's brother, I believe it is. It's the excitement in their voices again. They're going to do this and this and this, and the house will move. It's just crappy winter, We'll see. It had better move, because so I'm talking to or email the CEO, and I mean, I'm heart and soul with it, because this is my life. If they repo or foreclose on my rental house in LA, I'm done. I can't stay here because I'm behind on this one, and I need the money from the sale there to catch up on this. And I'm waiting for him to take my truck any day. I don't know. The bank up here has been very understanding, and the credit union has my truck. Um, they got to be understanding because they haven't done anything. And whenever anything happens, I got an offer. A couple times I got an offer. They get all the paperwork. I keep them abreast of where I'm at when a change happens. If nothing's happening, I don't pick up. My ringer's not on the phone. I don't talk to anybody until there's a change. And I still have my truck. Yeah, any day they could take that. And so nothing from the CEO all weekend. Monday morning, and I'm trying to find a bankruptcy lawyer. Go on the internet and look up bankruptcy lawyers, senior citizen. I'm a senior citizen. How did that happen? Senior citizens and disabled. And there's like a gazillion of them that come up, and you can make payments or nothing down, and we'll help you and assist you and do all this stuff for people like me, supposedly my shape. Not one, not one. Um, I still don't have one. So I emailed the CEO again Monday morning, and I do my emailing too this hour of the morning. Again, I don't sleep. I'll catch a cat nap sometime today. During the day, any noise, I think they're taking my truck, so I'm out looking back. It's cool. It's wickedly cool right now. So I send him another letter, and it's bleeding heart stuff. You do this, and I lose everything. The equity, I've got 3 times equity. Um, Against my loan. Uh, in one house. The Pell Lake house sells, and all my debt, 100%, is paid off, and there's money left to put away for taxes. There's no risk. I'm not fleeing. I'm not going anyplace. This house I built after uh, the house that was here burned down. The only trouble, and this I asked them early on, I said, the only reason I'm in trouble is because of the date right now. I know I can get this sold in a year. Well, even back then it was 6 months. I said, just rewrite the note on an annual payment basis. I'm not late anymore. You're still making interest. Nothing's changed. And you're not calling me every day asking me for money. And the house will get paid, or it gets sold. You get paid 100%. I don't have to pay blood-sucking lawyers to do nothing. File some papers, because the minute they get filed, I'm going to have to, if I have to do the bankruptcy myself, I will do it. But then, for legal advice, I'll have a fool. I'll probably wind up in jail or prison by doing it, but I can stop it all. It all gets stopped. The attorney's fees, because they know that I will file, that there is an objection to all this, and I'm not going to roll over and play dead. I read it in one of the statutes that once they know, and I told Phil that I'm forced to go bankrupt if you do anything. I've got to react. Once they are aware of that, and if they continue with attorney's fees and all the stuff, it gets waived. They get stuck with it. They can't just keep adding it on. So we'll see where that goes. But what's the point? The best thing for me financially is to add Pell Lake as the rental unit. That gives me my little bit of grace every year, where I don't have to, where I can actually go to McDonald's and buy a cheeseburger. Now that minimum wage is $15 an hour there. I can't afford to go to McDonald's, even when I had money. It's insane, this world. But nobody wins in this. Nobody wins, and I lose. And they just keep kicking. The CEO, finally, later Monday, sent me an email, short and sweet. I would definitely market it and just hope for a fast sale. Period. Oh, that's where I was going. And I've been doing that for a year now. I can't make people buy my property. There's no reason to foreclose on me because they're getting their top rate. You know, I haven't seen what they boosted it up to, but I've been paying once this started going south. I've been paying idiot rates. They jacked them up. The bank here in town jacked it up and said, "Oh no, that's our normal." The cost of living went up or whatever it was. That this is supposed to be tied at the Federal Reserve note, or but that was the only thing that went up was my interest rate. It was started at 4 or something, and boom, it's at 7. Or last I knew it was 7. But if that's what you got to do to be happy, and you're not going to foreclose on me, I'll pay the 7% because you will get the money. I'm not living a frivolous life and throwing this money around. And I'm not paying you because I don't want to. You're not getting any money because I don't have any money. I get the little bit I get my disability. My family comes first. They get fed. The dogs, the birds, they're fed. Then I pay who I can, and I'm the last one in line, and my cupboards were bare this time. I was really scrounging, and I had to go grocery shopping. Yes, I was that low on food. And about another, what are they, 12, 15 pound bags of rice. And I like rice, thank God. Rice and chocolate. Buy a lot of cocoa and eat a lot of chocolate cake and whatever it takes to get by. I'm here for the long run. And boy, I hope I don't lose it. I'm doing everything I can. Um, I'm not going to sell my soul for it. My soul's already sold. I believe in the big guy, and it feels awful tough now, but he's never put me through something I can't handle. And everything I've been through in my life, um, I've made it through. I mean, it's brought me here to you for a reason, and I don't know what that is. And that's always bothered me. So, yeah. Once upon a time, for 30 years, I was in AA, in and out, in and out. And towards the end, I met a guy, and he's about the only friend. I got 2 friends in the world now, 4 if you count their spouses, close friends. And I complain, being living out in a cabin that I built out of pallets in western Wisconsin. No running water. Well, I had running water. It ran across next to the little cottage or cabin I built. It was an artesian spring, beautiful water, but it was questionable. um, no plumbing. I had took a pallet and put walls on it and put a 5-gallon bucket in there. But I had high-speed internet. I had dish TV. I had uh, forced air heat furnace in there, and air conditioning. I had air conditioners, and it was all run off an extension cord from the power. It was a trip. I lived that like 8, 10 years. It was wonderful. It cost me nothing. I built the thing from pallets. Oh Lordy, I don't know where I'm going with that. Oh, my buddy. And I struggled. That was I bought the property. I went and looked at the property on like this first date with this girl, woman, we're in our 40s in AA, and she was hunting me down, and she was hunting absolutely. Um, If I picked the kind of woman that I've always been attracted to, never could get it, she was exactly opposite on every point, everything. And she's after me, and like our first kind of date was I looked at some property up north where I bought this cabin, and that was probably the biggest mistake in my life because from that on, then on, we kind of never separated. And eventually moved in with her, and I bought the property up there, and we got married, and we lived together for a year. I didn't. I mean, I'm a Christian, very spiritual person, and not real religious. Religion, that's man-made. Me and my God are pretty tight. And I got pretty strong morals for an old burnout hippie-looking guy. And I had trouble. Always had trouble with the living part. I don't think I'm going to hell because I lived with her. It was too because I didn't want to. You look at our society today, and everybody gets divorced. Divorce is easier than getting married, cheaper too, and almost. And I didn't want to make a mistake. I'd spent my entire. I wanted, as a young man, I wanted to get married, have a huge family. I come from a huge family. I would have been. I thought I would have been a good dad. But, there's hindsight here that if they don't cut the power off here, you'll hear a lot of these stories. But God's a very smart person for not allowing me to have offspring. Only regret my life, no kids. And I don't know where I'm going with this again. But, we got married finally after a year, and it didn't last a year. She, I don't know about what it is about the women I married, but I take the wedding vows very seriously, especially the one that says we're not going to date and screw anybody else. But they think that's that's negotiable. This both times. So the first one didn't last a year, and she was out sleeping around, and then her mother got sick, and she put sleeping in bed in our bedroom. So one day I said, "Gee," I got up and said, she was already gone, and so you want to sleep alone? I'll show you what alone is. And I packed up all my crap and ran up to the cabin that I built. And this was the early stages where it was only 12 by 12 and a little wood burner, and this is early spring, cold as hell. And I figured she's gonna learn a lesson on this one. Well, I'm up there like a week and a half and nothing. I had a phone. I had a phone up there. So finally I called her, and she said, "It's a good thing you left when you did, because the sheriff is coming to serve you papers to get your ass out." And that was all she left. All she does. She traded me in for a heroin addict, and they went through an enormous amount of money. I mean, if I sound like I'm sad, the satisfaction there is. It just burned up her entire inheritance. Could have been living wonderfully the rest of your life. Oh, it's great. It's good. Life can be good, but I don't know. I'm going to call it a day. I don't. I still got flowers I got to plant. I'm going on. I'm continuing on like nothing's happening. Hopefully, I got a deal working where I've got something sold where I can pay some on the utilities and keep them going, and some on my truck and keep them going, and some more in the bank up here and keep them happy, which will buy me another 24 hours. It's getting down to this 24-hour crap. But I just keep getting on and getting on. So I've got the a lot of plants to still plant for the greenhouse. And um, I made my first grow light today. Um, I'm pretty knowledgeable on grow rooms and back in another life in another state because it's legal here and you can't do it in Wisconsin. Uh, I grew my own medicine, and it truly was. It truly was. It got me off of painkillers, narcotics for 8 to 10 years, and until eventually the pain caught up. That's saying a lot. That's all I needed. It allowed me to sleep. It allowed me to rest. It allowed the pain to subside enough where you could get by. Wonderful. It should never been illegal, but that's a whole nother story. And we're finally getting over it. So I do what I can, and I just keep getting on it. Oh, LEDs lights are coming out. They're thinking they got the grow lights figured out now. Yeah, we'll see. They're getting close. I've been watching the LEDs for 10 years now, 12 years, and they're getting closer. So finally, I bought some, and I've got them set up. I finally put them together tonight. Big step. I know nothing about electrical stuff, except that usually when I wire a house, they burn down, unfortunately. Uh, but I've got, oh, it's upstairs. I've got it all put together and I'm going to go out and hang that, see if it works. There's an easy way to figure out if they work or not. They work or not. It's pretty, you don't have to be a genius and do all these tests. Put a plant under there, see how it grows. If it grows good, you did good. Anyhow, that's what I do. I I got to do a little spiel here on the newest or war on um, opiates. There's no big opiate epidemic out there like this. It's very similar to the marijuana, the war on marijuana. How this evil drug. Some kids get into their parents' um, medicine cabinet, sell it on the streets. Um, I'm sure there's problems with it, like there's problems with everything, with illegal alcohol, illegal tobacco, whatever. But the government has no business or right to start prescribing my medicine. I go to a pain specialist. It's one of the top in the country in sports medicines, at least in the state. This guy's been doing it all his life. He's been dealing with pain. He's specializes in spinal pain, spinal pain management, and that's where uh, mine stems from. And I've got chronic spinal pain. My pain on level on a daily basis would put a normal person in the hospital. You learn to live with pain. Pain, your body, pain's a wonderful thing, or marvelous. It's amazing. But I can't do it without pain meds. And they've cut it back. I was, oh, guys, taking 20, 30, 40, I can't remember, 3, 4 years ago, just huge doses. And it was too much. And would have been going over to morphine because that'll be the next one in line. After I lived in that other state another time, um, and I came back on narcotics, I started on Vicodin, and then you go to oxy, and then oxy you go to morphine, morphine you go to methadol, the ones heroin addicts take because it's a great painkiller, and that's the how they play out. And when you're done with that the methanol, you're dead. You're dying. And when I came back, when my pain finally got to a point where the other stuff was not taking care of it, I came back to my pain specialist. This is over 8 years later, I mean, which is crazy cool. We started on low dose of Vicodin. We're on the Oxy now. And I'm not going to get the whole thing. Another doctors were supposed to be working with him. They put me into withdrawal, sent me home to commit suicide because he was more important. His license was more important than the welfare, my welfare. He had cut my narcotics and put me into withdrawals. I mean, I go into the clinic in full withdrawals, and he said, "Yeah, maybe I did take you off a little bit fast." I said, "Well, get me on them fast, because I've been through withdrawals of narcotics before and lived through it, but not by the grace of me. It was by the grace of God, because it got so bad I tried to overdose. And I was out for a week. I don't know. God wants me around. Thank you. And I won't go through it again. I can't go through it again. I'm a strong person, but I cannot do withdrawals, not from narcotics." So he sends me home. I've got enough at home with what he prescribed, because he switched it over to anyhow. I go home and eat all my pills, 'cause I'm already sick. I'm tired. I'm not out for a couple of days, and I come to again. I mean, this, by the time I got functional, it's like a week later, his office calls me. Says, "Well, he decided, how, he will no longer prescribe medications for me. If I need to go in, if I need anything, I should go do a." I said, "Lady, I already tried to kill myself. It didn't work. Tell that bozo never to talk to me again." Like, he's still practicing medicine, but he knew I was going to go home and kill myself, because I flat out told him. So anyhow, I finally get back to my pain specialist. And by this time, I've already gone through the withdrawals. So we were able to start out way back in like five a day, 10 times a day. I get 300 a month and 5 milligrams, which is perfect. I don't want more. We've been on this now for a year and a half, a long time. And I don't crave more. I've had the best 2 years, best 2 years in my memory. I can't remember being happier, getting more done, being more active. I don't want to go to bed at night because my day's so good. I can't wait to get up in the morning, because I know it's going to be a good one again. Even through all this house crap, I haven't had a better 2 years. And then I go into to see my pain specialist, and they call out, "You got to sign these drug contracts." And I didn't come back 100% clean. I mean, stuff's almost legalized anyhow. And the way, and it wasn't even that actually came back, but the way the laws are written now, when I first came back from the 8 years, I could talk to my pain specialist freely about what I was used to use, and you could tell them, I could tell them what's working, why is it working, how's it working, and we developed plans around the whole picture. After a couple of years, as the government's getting their claws deeper and deeper into um, the medical field, if he talked to me about marijuana, he couldn't write me prescriptions anymore. I'd be cut off. He found out I was a marijuana, and he'd have to not be my doctor anymore. So now you cannot go and talk to your doctor about anything. You got to be very protective if you want to keep that doctor, if you want to keep meds. Um, so I didn't come back. I haven't been back. Um, Luckily, I had a full month's prescription, half a month, and I've weaned myself out. Didn't know withdrawals, thank God. And then he had called right before the mess and had my left a prescription. So I had another month's prescription. Walmart goes and fills it without me calling in to order it. And it's supposed to sit there in the file. And it sat there for 5 days and they refilled it, put it back into inventory, and they won't fill it again without the doctor issuing another prescription. So I got to go spend another $50 for the $50 they just threw away. So I don't know if you can get them. We haven't talked about that test because I haven't seen them. And, it's going to come to a head here pretty quick because we can talk drugs and their effects and withdrawals, and at the day's end with no medication, I'm in bed. I have no life again. And narcotics, opiates, they give me a quality of life that's worth living. And your epidemic comes from law enforcement lost the fight against marijuana. They got a gazillion billion dollars tied up in drug defense money, defending, keeping us safe from, used to be marijuana. They had to come up with something. So now it's opiates. And there's no more trouble today than there was 20 years ago with opiates. But law enforcement needs, or the DEA needs something to fight, or we're going to come off. The prison system need people to be put in prison. If not, we've got to close down some of these prisons. Wouldn't that be a shame? Wouldn't it be a shame to get some of these low marijuana? We had kids in there that got caught with a joint and they're in there for 10 years. We've got a really mixed up system. But the jails and prisons you keep open, make sure they're tough, because the people that deserve to be in there deserve to be in there. Keep the rapists, keep the rapist and the abusers, anybody that abuses another person. I don't care if it's a man, woman, or child they're abusing. Nobody has a right to do that. Okay, I'm getting preachy now, but I've got some really strong beliefs. And I think men, we're the biggest assholes out there. We're nasty, we're horrible, we treat women disgustingly bad. I don't, but men in general are just nasty people. Love the women, just how can you not? How can you hit a woman? How can you hit kids? I have a hard time fighting anybody. But don't let me see you hit your wife. Because she's your wife does not give you license to hit her. I don't care what she did. And the funny part is that wife that gets hit and beat and just cries and calls cops and does everything else, you see her in the grocery store beating her own kid. It's God. Don't let it start, because it doesn't stop. And it's not Once you got it, once you start beating somebody, you don't get over it. I'm not going to get to sleep tonight. Anyway. Every woman I've ever gone out with, had probably more than a date with, have been abused women. And it breaks my heart. They're just no reason for it, no call for it. And it's just great. Now, yep, I'm going to call it a night because I don't need to go on. Now I start missing women and probably want to get in a relationship again. You have no idea how good my life is living alone, being a bachelor. I gotta go life. My name's Matt. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. You guys have a great day. And if I totally bored you to death, hit subscribe. I need them. I don't think what channel I'm on. One of my channels doesn't even have one of them. The other two have them, but Gordy, my friend, my AA friend, is one that subscribed. He says two's enough. He's not going to hit the third one. And if you hate it, put thumbs down. I don't care. I guess if you have, at least that shows people at least watched. And if you do or you don't, I'm not going away. I'm coming back, and hopefully I'll get better. If not, it gives me a place to vent. And look at it this way: if I keep coming back and nothing changes here, I got the house, so it'll be a good thing. Y'all have a great Thursday. It's snowing and windy and pissy here today. So, as I said, I'm Matt from As Matt Sees It. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.